This is your CBS 46 News Flash Briefing, brought to you by West Shore Home.
Good morning. I'm Karen Greer. Campaign 2020. As the results continue to come in slowly, an investigation is underway to explain the chaos that we've seen at the polls. Fulton County pointing to the pandemic as a main factor. The election director saying coronavirus concerns did cause poll workers to drop out, not show up, and even skip training. He also says the new equipment and fewer polling locations played a part in the chaos. Now, the Secretary of State's office vowing to investigate, as well as the Georgia House of Representatives, both saying they want to know why the state's new $104 million voting system was not implemented successfully. Now, the man who oversaw the rollout of the new voting machines for the state of Georgia, Gabriel Sterling, says he was devastated to learn of a slew of negative reports yesterday. He called out Fulton County in particular for dropping the ball.
It was a mixture of frustration, anger, and disappointment all in one time, because a lot of these things could have been avoided if there had been some more thought put into it on the front end. But they've been given $15 million by their county commission. The state has given them everything they asked for, and they seem to just continually have issues like this. I was looking back, and they have issues every election cycle, unfortunately.
Well, Fulton County election officials admitting to making a slew of mistakes in preparation. The biggest one, they say, not training the poll workers adequately on how to use these new voting machines. Both Fulton and the state agreeing there needs to be a lot more training on these new machines between now and November. And one of the big races that we've watched, the Associated Press reporting, Congressman John Lewis wins the Democratic nomination for the U.S. House for Georgia's 5th Congressional District. Lewis, a civil rights hero, also the dean of the Georgia delegation, has represented that district for 33 years. Most years he has run completely unopposed, but this year he will have a Republican challenger in November. Angela Stanton King, a controversial person who has written a book about one of the former housewives of Atlanta. Now, in December, Lewis, who is now 80 years old, was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He has come out publicly to talk about the protests going on around the country. For the latest on Campaign 2020 and more results, you can follow us here on CBS 46 and on our streaming news app. After 2 weeks of widespread protests, Republican senators preparing a proposal for police reform. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina unveiling a draft of the proposal, which includes greater accountability for no-knock warrants and uses of force.
What we've been talking about here in the Senate Republican Conference is what we think is the appropriate response to the events of the last few weeks.
It is very unfortunate that his death was the catalyst for talks that needed to happen a very long time ago.
A 5-person task force will work on turning that draft into legislation. Congressional Democrats unveiling their own proposal to combat police brutality a few days ago. One of their changes they're calling for is the ban on chokeholds. Big news about an iconic film with ties to Atlanta. Streaming service HBO Max removing the 1939 film Gone with the Wind from its library. The Oscar-winning film has been considered controversial for its depiction of blacks and its view of slavery. The decision to pull the film sparked some backlash on social media. Gone with the Wind now trending, but HBO Max is responding, saying the film will return, but will feature a discussion of its historical context and a denouncement of its racist depictions. All right, let's switch gears and talk about your weather today. Meteorologist Fred Campagna on top of that. Fred.
Karen, we have another day with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Better chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, and we may be looking at a couple of them becoming strong to severe. There's a low risk, level 1 out of 5 of severe weather this afternoon. Strong winds, the main threat from any of those stronger storms that do develop. Looking at your Futurecast pinpoint radar here, and notice how we have some green on the map right through this afternoon and this evening. So keep that umbrella handy today into this evening. Overnight, a front will sweep through. That'll put an end to the rain threat, also put an end to the very high humidity that we've seen lately. In fact, by tomorrow morning, the low temperature will be in the mid-60s in many spots, so a little more comfortable out there, and we don't have any big-time heat coming our way. Might be a little bit cooler than normal for us as we head into and through a good chunk of next week. So Thursday's high near 84, Friday about 85, mid-80s over the weekend, low risk of a pop-up shower Saturday and Sunday.
This has been your personal flash briefing from CBS 46 News, brought to you by West Shore Home, Atlanta's one-day bath remodeler.